Good morning, everybody. So I'm Julia Royston, BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Bosses. As you can tell, the discussion has already kind of started. I am here with the Something with Hair book club over the top. I am so super excited. We haven't even started the discussion yet. Hey, Miss Angela. So I'm in the Edgefield. What county is this? Mecklen? I'm sorry. What? Edgefield County Public. No. What's the county public library?
Oh, Edgefield County Library.
Okay. All right. So I am in the. Hey, to George. I am in the Edgefield County Public Library. Beautiful library. Maybe I'll have a chance later on to actually go through that and let you see the public library. It's so cute. A lot of beautiful murals. But here, let me show you the community room. Y'all wave to the people. Yeah, okay, now that waving in the white shirt right there is Miss Michelle Cummings. That's the reason why I'm here. She came by my booth to George when I was in D.C. with you back in February. And I gave her a book, and she said, yeah, you can come down to our book club discussion. You know, you're going to come to South Carolina. Yeah, we're going to do it in May. And it's May, and I'm here. Hey, ladies, wave to the camera. Okay, so I feel right at home. You see them Krispy Kreme donut boxes over there? Oh, my goodness. So the book that we are discussing, they have all read Jillian. Oh my goodness, I've got to tag the Macklins in this so they can actually see it. So they have all read it. I am so super excited. They last night they were at the writing group. Hey Karen, how you doing, love? And so they were at the writer's class last night. We did a Write That Book Now. And so, first off, even before I keep going, if you have a book club, you know a book club, you're going to have to come with the heat. Because the Something with Hair book club has spoiled me rotten. I'm going to have to go back home and do some walking to get these pounds off. Because they done fed me too good and spoiled me rotten. So, you're going to have to take it to the next level. Hello. So they have all read the book, Jillian. And we're going to just really kind of talk about it. So some of you may not even know on Facebook Live that I even write a romance fiction, but I do. Hey, Tisha, how you doing, love? We need to talk soon. And that I even write romance fiction. And so I asked God, I guess now it's been 3 or 4 years ago. God, I want to try my hand at romance fiction. What do you think I do? I just did that in prayer. Now, me and God got it like that. We just talk like that. And he said, base the book on you and your husband, Brian. I was like, oh, for real? But of course, I get the author liberties to embellish as much as possible. So that's the beautiful thing. So that's kind of the background for the group and for everybody in Facebook Live to know that Jillian is loosely based on me and Mr. Royston's romance and finding each other. Not the same, but it's really close. So just kind of as a background of Jillian. Jillian is set in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yes, I actually lived in Cincinnati, Ohio. But she has her own company. Hey, Tamika. She has her own company. She has Forrester, and you know, my maiden name is Forey. So I embellished that part. Forey is my maiden name. So I said, it can't be Forey Technologies. So it's going to be Forrester. So Forrester Technologies. Now, I'm not going to have any spoiler alerts because y'all need to read the book too if you haven't read it. But hey, Molly. So Forrester Technologies is basically combining all of my worlds in library and information science. Now, her major client is Procter & Gamble. I actually worked for Procter & Gamble. I worked for them. God only let me work there a year, and then I had to go. He said, go home. And I'm like, I am home. My apartment was 5 minutes from where I worked, and I loved it, and I was getting ready to buy a house and get a new car. You know, P&G employees, they don't play. And I didn't get to do any of that. I had to come home. But Procter & Gamble is Jillian's in the book. That's her client. That's one of her major clients. As well as she has others. It's a major corporation. I like big stuff for my people. I want my people to do well. Even if they're down, they're going to come up. That's the way, they're going to do the come up. They may be in a pit, but they're not going to stay down in there too long. So that's kind of the basis of it. If you read Jillian and you're from Cincinnati, you should find places that the Cincinnati Reds, the Cincinnati Bengals. Her condo is a high rise there. You should be able to basically visually see where her high rise is, because right there on River Road, Rose Lane, you can literally see the Bengal Stadium right there, the Red Stadium. So that's kind of where we are. So I'm getting ready to kind of turn it around on them. And first off, I know they liked it because they've just been over the top. But I wanted to give kind of a background history for those of you who go, hey, Melanie, hey, Carla. So that are going to kind of be listening in for a little while. And I'm going to run it as long as I can until my phone gets hot. But I really wanted to know, first off, from the group, what you really thought about Jillian herself. Let's start there. And kind of the opening scene. So go back to the opening scene. Okay. Have you ever had, who wants to start?
You want to go, Jeff? You go.
Either one.
It reminds me of myself.
Okay.
And in the opposite way, as a child, I was always the tallest one in the class.
Okay.
Kindergarten, I was always at the end of the line.
Right. The caboose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You line up from shortest to tallest. And so all through life, that was kind of thing. So I could kind of relate in terms of being a big girl to her. But, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
The beginning of the book, to me, I kind of felt sorry for Jillian, and only because I've seen so much bullying and stuff, and I know what our parents think of us, how much it affects us. So, and then as I read, I can tell that our father truly loved her, but that wasn't the way.
No.
Sometimes as parents, we don't know how to help our children. We do the best we can, but I hate it that he chose that way to help them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anything?
And I've always said that, most of the time we make it in spite of, our children make it in spite of us. We do the best we can as parents, but really you living in the moment.
Yeah.
So the repercussions of that moment, sometimes you don't see until later. But it did make her stronger, though, as a person. And then she came into herself and loved herself. I think the character of Jillian, everybody could you could see yourself in Jillian in some sort of way. Yeah. She's relatable, I think.
Right.
More than anything. Yeah, she's very relatable.
Ladies, anybody over here?
I just adored her because she was even telling herself that I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, and she was giving herself her own boost, even though she didn't realize it at the time. Right, exactly.
And so, and I think that's the part of even me that I had to realize over time. And you're right, my dad did love me, and that is based on an actual scene that actually did happen with my parents. And I think he was really striving. He wanted me to lose weight. And of course, that was back in the 80s. So we're talking about a flashback in the opening of the book that's back in the 70s and 80s. And, thin was in. Lane Bryant was all you had. Okay, Lane Bryant. And most of the time in Lane Bryant, that store that was in Louisville was a small store. So the majority, they didn't have, and this is our store in Louisville. So that was before the main big stores like they have today. You can walk in and pretty much get any size. If your size wasn't there, they handed you that big 4-inch catalog. Any big girls in the group, or that's the way it was. So you had to actually order and wait for your clothes to be shipped. Now, when I was younger, I've always been a big girl. When I was 6 years old, we went into the gym for first grade, because back then, in 1969, you could not go to kindergarten to public school. You started public school in the first grade and not kindergarten. So kindergarten was private school. So I went to a private church school for kindergarten. And so first grade, I went to Norton Elementary. They lined you all up. They weighed you. Oh my God, weigh-in was just yes, they weighed you. Julia Forey, 100 pounds. And it felt like they yelled it through the whole, all the other girls, 35, 40, 20, you know, they was little bitty skinny people. Me, 100 pounds. I'm like, did they really put that on the megaphone? No, they didn't do that. So it was just really, that's just always been a deciding factor. But I wasn't the typical big girl, because by the time I was 8, when I was born, my feet went out like that. I had glasses at 8 years old. Oh my God, sinuses, had trouble hearing, just all kinds of things. But then I sang my first solo at 8 years old. It was Weeping May Endure for a Night, but joy, and then it goes fast. Joy, 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 coming in the morning. Okay, then that was it. That was all. My parents said, oh, this is what, oh yeah. Oh, okay. So I had the 8-track, I had the turntable, anything they came out with, I had it. You know, I started directing choirs when I was 12. I was the state minister of music by the time I was 18 for 7 years. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, my parents, they saw the gift, so they, that's it. You know, like, okay, she can't do greater than or less than. Let's see, you know. I was always expensive. I had to have corrective shoes, my glasses. They were like, oh Lord, what we gonna do with this girl here?
But you can sing.
I can sing. Ooh, I'm like, okay, yeah, you can climb that rope in the gym, and yeah, you can tumble and twirl. I've been watching. Yay! And you can run around the track 15 times. I can barely walk it, but but I'm here. This is what I do. Okay, now give me the mic. I'm gonna show you something. You know, so, but one thing for me, Jillian sings too as well, so I put all my worlds in the book, but is really encouraging parents that when you do find that thing that your child can do, go all out for it. Yes. And I have a friend whose son plays, and I don't know if Vanessa's going to jump on, but he plays like 6 instruments, and I told her, he's just gifted musically, and I said, feed that thing. Right. If that's that thing he loves, feed that thing. We'll figure out a way to make money at it later, but feed that. So whatever that gift is, feed it. In your child, if you're, hey Tammy, hey David Moore, how you doing? I need to check on you. You been doing all right? Let me know, please. Inbox me. And feed that thing that is your child's. And Jillian turned out okay, but it was a rocky start. And I think that's the reason why I kind of wanted to open with that, because it was a very poignant thing. I had to find my own identity. But, my dad wanted me to fit in with other people, and, and just, I'm just worried about Julia, and, I don't want nothing to happen to her. And, and I get that. I understand that. But in the end, you're right. It did make me stronger. In the end, it did. Go ahead.
I'm thinking as you're saying that, when, as a parent, when you find that gift in your child young and you start developing in them, it helps them to have higher self-esteem.
Right.
Because they know who they are. And just like as you were talking about Jillian, she knew that she could sing. You know? So where she lacked in other places, she was like, hey, I'm confident because I know if you give me that microphone, I'm going to sit you down. You like the car on the road. I can see you on the tape. So as a parent, that's your job. The Bible says train up in the way they should go. And that's talking about finding out who they are and training them. So when you see that gift in them when they're younger, when you work to develop that helps with the self-esteem, because they know, this is me, this is my lane. I can't dribble ball, but I can cook a cake.
Right, exactly. Some of the greatest chefs in the world are men, so you're right, exactly right about that. So really, I teach authors too, and especially when we're doing just fiction, there are overall themes of romance. Oh, we want love, but then there's always those sub-themes. Those are sub-underlining themes that you're really not thinking about. So that's the tip for you fiction writers out there, that sometimes there's a big thing, it's just sci-fi, but in between the lines there should be some other sub-themes that are running through your book at all times that could bring light. And that even though it's fiction, we have really turned this discussion just so far into something that can be really applicable and applicable for a parent group. So a parent group could read that and go, ooh, I don't like, Did I say something similar to that? Oh, I might have done something similar to that. Yeah, you find yourself like, ooh, yeah. You know, and really, honestly, I confronted my dad about it. I said, yeah, you told me I would have to have a sheet and tie a hole in it and throw it on my head. He said, I didn't say that. My mother said, oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. And so, you know, you're thinking that's motivational or whatever. It may be shocking and hurtful, but you don't realize, you're right, of the long-term effects. So, So I really liked Jillian. The strong, I'm rising, I'm working hard, and the whole 9 yards. So what'd you think of Byron?
Sure.
You know, when they talked about their childhood together and how she was always in a book.
Right.
And he was always running down the hall at the conferences and getting into trouble.
That opposite.
The booger.
The booger. Oh yeah, the booger. Oh yeah, the booger. He's a booger. But you know, he didn't have a problem with size, but he was dark.
Yeah.
So Byron had the color. The other brother was light.
Colorism.
The colorism. So that's a whole nother thing. So let me just tell the.
Do we realize that we're prejudiced?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
We
God.
don't think it's prejudice. We don't think it's
We
prejudice.
don't think it's what we are. It's prejudice.
We are prejudiced. African Americans are prejudiced.
Yeah.
But the other,
I like bright.
yes.
Paper bag
It's
rule.
going to be real.
Locked in a paper bag.
Now
we have a problem.
see. Okay, so stop. Hold on right there. So you know, I taught school, and most of you in the Facebook Live know I taught school. But I had 2 black girls, and they got into a fight one day. You all don't know this, but they got into a fight one day, and the one girl said she was the inside of a Reese cup. And the other girl said, you black is the outside of a Reese cup.
Wow.
Okay? I mean, next thing I knew, they were throwing, boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
And a teacher comes running across the hallway. I was like, what is going on? Get out in the hallway. And so we had extra people in the building, so they came and took my class. I took them to the office. I'm like, y'all are embarrassing. What in the world could y'all have been arguing about? We're doing something, the assignment. And she said, well, she said I was the inside of a Reese cup. And the other girl said, well, she said I was black as the outside of a Reese cup. I thought, oh my gosh. Wow. It is that was probably 2015, I said, it is 2016 and you're still having that argument about color. So when the teachers got in the teacher's lounge later, this cute little Caucasian girl goes, I don't get it. I don't understand. I said, are you really ready, Becky? Well, I don't know. I don't get it. I said, I'm getting ready to tell you. Are you ready?
You ready?
You ready? She goes, well, I don't know. Miss Russia, you just got to tell me. She was young. I said, sweetie, it goes back to slavery.
Yes.
What does that mean? I said, we used to, when we were born, they put the brown bag to you. And if you were darker than the brown bag, you were outside. If you were lighter than the brown bag, you were inside. What? I never heard of such. I said, boo. It's old as time. It's our history. It's what we got.
It's that part that's not taught.
It's the part that's not
We talked
taught.
about that last night. It's that part.
It's that part that's not
But
taught.
it goes even further than that. We talk about colorism and how sometimes we're harder on the darker skin. But if you really think about it, in this age, in this time now, we still said light-skinned brothers ain't in, the dark brothers ain't in.
Yeah, I
And
know.
when we do that, it's colorism.
That's right.
All light-skinned, he ain't no good, he old light-skinned.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I done lost my phone on chocolate. I done lost my phone on chocolate. She said chocolate, I lost it.
Old lady in our church, Clinton Hunter, used to always say the darker the berry, the sweeter.
That's it.
Because she was dark. She would
Yeah.
always tell us that. Us little girls, who didn't look like the other little girls.
Yeah.
She said, don't worry about that.
You hear what's said in that. In an attempt to make it okay to be dark,
Right.
we then turn around and make our other sister feel bad.
Yes.
We still lose.
Yeah, that's right. We still
Instead of
losing.
unifying, we're making it even more separate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all beautiful. We all.
Yeah, I know.
Body is
So you might not be Halle Berry, but that was supposed to be the standard, the Halle Berry look, and I just want to be
Right.
Let's exactly with the unifying thing. Find what is you, what is your gift, what is your benefit. We all have one. We all have an ability, and we all have beauty, and you can tell God intended for all of us to be different because we don't all look alike, and black people don't all look alike. Caucasian people don't all look alike. Spanish people don't all. I had a rude awakening when I lived in San Antonio that they came in all shades, all color, all hair types.
My mom look like her.
Exactly. So it's finding the beauty in you, finding the beauty and what makes you special and what makes you beautiful, and then, honey, working that gift. Woo! Work that thing all the way to the fullest. All right, so I like Byron too, but he was always whereas Jillian, that was one of their connecting factors, was Jillian was always, worried about her size and diet and everything. But Byron, he couldn't change his skin. Right. Jillian can make herself smaller and had and been bigger and smaller, and oh my Lord, I know that going back and forth. Hello, Mr. Brackens. And having that back and forth, up and down. She could change her size, but he could not change the color of his skin. Sorry, Michael Jackson, but he could not. He was not going to change. He was not. He was not going to change his skin. He was not. He was dark, and he was going to remain dark. And so, it's just a beautiful thing. Okay, so I can't do the spoiler alert and all that good stuff.
Further though, the thing that got me was, she'd been looking for love forever, and it was always just right there. And he always liked her, but he never let her know.
Yes. Ever since he was 10.
Ever since he always
he was 10. But he wanted to come correct though.
Yeah. He said he had a plan.
He had a plan. He had to get educated, get a business so he could be able to do what he needed to do for her before he approached her.
I like that.
And that was
I like that.
But sometimes you hinder your own self. She thought because she was big, and no way. But look at him. He was out. He kept out the big girl. He liked her.
He liked it. He liked it.
And this girl, he was fine.
That what he wanted. He said, I'm a lot of man. I don't need no right. I used to be a real woman.
Sometimes you can be looking for love, and it can be right there in your face. You don't even know.
But it's preparing itself for you.
Yeah.
Because even though she was just looking at the surface of my outward appearance, he was concerned about the inside and everything else. Like, he held her at an even higher standard than she held herself.
And she had herself up there.
She did.
Where he had
Exactly. So that was even higher. So it's like, ooh, just even looking at that whole perspective. So therefore, if you have high standards, what do you need to do? Keep them there. Keep them there. Don't settle. Yeah. My husband says it all the time. Whatever you do, don't settle. Whatever you do, don't settle. For all single ladies everywhere, he's like, whatever you do, don't settle. Because, you'll be miserable. At the bottom, at the core of it, you'll be miserable because the person takes you for granted. And, it'd be best to be a big girl alone with high self-esteem and not settling for abuse than to be settling for something that is clearly beneath you. Another sub-theme throughout this book is to be all yourself and your best self. Okay. So what was I going next?
We don't know.
We're not sure.
I know. What was we talked about Jillian, we talked about Byron. We talked about having high, because this is the totally.
Look, while we still on.
Hold on.
Okay. While we still on Jillian and Byron.
Okay.
Since this book is basically based from your life in a kind of. You remember the last guy she was engaged to. Now, when you put that, is that your life?
Oh, yeah.
The one that stood her up and got the church member pregnant and ran off and married her? Was that in your life?
It was in my life.
No, she won. She won.
It was in my life. I was married, and Yeah, he got another woman pregnant. Yeah,
Pregnant and ran off
and married her. Yeah.
6 children later.
I mean, I don't know about the 6 children. They don't have no 6 children, but yeah, he had married somebody else. So, but she was already pregnant when he was married to me. So we had to get the divorce, and I had to make that critical decision. You know, yeah. Yeah, it's heart wrenching. It's heartbroken. Now the other guy, he couldn't decide. He couldn't make up his mind. The other, remember, it was 2 of them. One guy was, the other guy couldn't. That's a real person too. I went through that too. He couldn't make up his mind and all that good stuff. And I did a bad thing. I was in Michigan and I took a picture of me and my husband, and my friend was in the same room with him, same dude. I said, let him see it. I said, come on, baby, let's take a picture. And we just, she said, got you. He saw it, girl. He was in shock. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. Got it. You know, well, I mean, sorry, that was the... No. He might have thought it, but he didn't say it out loud. He was like... I know he thought it, so sorry. That was that was Julia being bad. That was Julia being bad. But yeah, I really, Jillian is really an embellishment of my Brian Royston's story. But I always take it to you figured it out. You took it to the yeah, loosely. You gotta believe it. And believe you me, I'd love to have a cook and somebody clean my house and live in a high rise. And oh yeah, I want that. When I grow up, I want that. Right now, I don't. Brian says, I think I need to read this book. I was like, yeah, I think you need to too. No, he's a great dude. He's a great dude. Hey, Kalina. She thinks this funny. Kalina's in Texas. She's like, hey, LOL. Hey. So we're discussing, those of you who are joining me. And thank you so much for all of you that are still on. So I'm going to have to plug up my phone and probably jump off in just a second because I don't want to do a spoiler alert. So I'm going to stop right here and stop right now. I am with, and you are joining the Somethinwithair book club in Edgefield, South Carolina. Wave, Kamisha. Nisha, wave your hand. Nisha, wave. And we are discussing my romance fiction book of the book 1 of the Women of Fellowship series, Jillian. So Jillian is loosely based on me and my husband Brian Royston, and it's exciting stuff, and I'm over the top excited. So reach out to me, inbox me, head to my website, BK Royston Publishing. If you have a book club, tag it in the comments. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and Nook, it's just 99 cents.